The Fargo 5, I'm Conrad Fargo. We are moving into the Fargo Fresh. We've got Kale Braun here from Integrity First Insurance. Hello, Kale.
Hey, how we doing?
You are also, of course, with the El Zagel Shrine. We forgot to mention in the last segment, there's doing a 5K that morning as well.
Yes, we are.
We will get there. I want to get back to there. But first, the Fargo Fresh, the first thing I like to do is so I'm a YouTube creator. We're on YouTube. Go to YouTube and subscribe. If you're not there, just youtube.com/@ConradFargo. Subscribe. You can watch the videos. If you're watching the video right now, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, leave comments. When you are a content creator on YouTube, they give you access to all of these back-end tools so that you can see what the algorithm wants you to talk about. So they have data. People are they're typing in stuff. A bunch of videos come up, and they go, well, this isn't what I'm looking for, and they leave. So the idea here is to kind of try to grab on by using keywords about you to see what people are typing in and leaving with, and then maybe you've got something interesting to say. We'll give it a try.
Okay.
You ready?
I think so.
Now, there might be nothing, so that's fine, too. So it's not no pressure.
Okay.
Just if you got something to say on these topics, YouTube would love to have you as an expert talking about it.
Okay.
So the first thing, of course, I typed in was El Zagel. Believe it or not, nothing. Nobody's searching for that on YouTube, and that's El Zagel is very local, right?
We are.
So that's because that's like the name of the chapter, right? So
it is.
So Fargo people aren't going to YouTube and typing in El Zagel. Neither is anybody typing in Shriner. I guess that isn't something that people are looking for. Or beer. I guess they've got enough content for that. People are looking for beer. They're finding enough. So we're not missing content. Spuds, also no content. Like I was like, what is going on here? I cannot get any content to come up. I didn't know what to do. I typed in Suds. I got Suds ASMR. Do you know what ASMR is? You don't? You never heard of ASMR? That's when those videos, when they get in like this, and you can't hear me because you don't have the headphones in, but I'm making really wet mouth sounds.
Oh, man.
And I'm whispering, and it's not a sexual thing at all. It's about the whisper and the way that it just sounds. Some people, it gives them goosebumps when people whisper and make sounds like this. And that's called ASMR. So, I guess people are looking for Suds ASMR. So if you wanted, you could bring like a microphone like this, bring it into the Suds and Spuds, and put it right up into those beer cans, and that sound, that might be big. But then I typed in insurance, and there we hit the mother lode. People have a lot of questions about insurance. It's confusing.
It is.
The number one search result that people are searching in and not getting anything, and so but this is a high number of searches. Is California car insurance is doomed. Do you have any idea why people are typing in that California? Do you do? Now, I know you've recently expanded your insurance. You sell all over the country now. Do you sell in California?
Not at this point, I don't.
Do you want to?
The company does.
It sounds like they're doomed.
Honestly, California is a dicey state as far as insurance.
Okay.
Because of the regulatory issues that go along with the state of California, insurance companies are handcuffed in a lot of ways, which consumer protection is great, and we need consumer protection. However, to the extent that it's going in some states, California being one of them, it makes it very difficult to do business.
I see.
When you have a tough state to do business in, how many companies do they really want to work in that state, right?
Well, and does it have something to do? I think regulations change more often in California too, don't they? They have or is that maybe not the case?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
Again, if I worked directly in California a lot, I would be more educated on the regulatory issues and what the laws are doing.
My sense of it would be in insurance, because insurance is all about underwriting, right? It's all about like basically what we're doing is just kind of trying to figure out how likely is it that X, Y, and Z is going to happen?
Correct.
And then we spread that risk out amongst everybody and take a little bit off the top. And that's like the whole game right 100%. There is just basically hedging bets in a very responsible risk-sharing way. When you have a governmental regime that changes its regulations a lot, it's got to be hard to predict what your liability may or may not be, right? So, I mean, do you see a big difference between, say, North Dakota, which is famous for kind of not changing and being very, we're
Yep.
going to do the thing way we've always done. In Minnesota, which has more of a, shall we say, activist government where things are constantly changing all the time. Do you see a difference in the regulatory environment making insurance a lot different there, like just your day-to-day, or not as much?
North Dakota and Minnesota really actually isn't that much
Really?
or as much difference as you would think.
Yeah.
The two states seemingly they really operate the same.
Wow.
People don't realize that insurance companies being regulated by their Department of Insurance, there are certain guidelines of the amount of surplus that has to be kept on hand in order to pay those claims. And so it's based on the amount of premium and all of that sort of stuff. And so insurance companies states actually are the ones that tell insurance companies sometimes how much rate they have to take, but they'll also, in other cases, tell them how much rate they can take if we want to take more. So going back to like California, for instance, wildfires are a huge issue across the country. Colorado, that's primarily one of the states that I work in the most. So Colorado and California has some of the same issues.
Yeah.
When that happens, and insurance companies really are just bleeding because of the fact that a wildfire took out an entire area.
Yeah.
And a state is telling you that you can't take the rate that you need to be solvent in that state. There's only one real thing to do, and it would be to exit the state if
you're
they
just not
can't make
offering
it
that.
happen.
Yeah.
They can do an approach where they'll do it over a number of years, but if the wildfires continue, then it's really a struggle. Now on the auto insurance side, people don't realize that insurance companies do use a level of credit for discount purposes and for underwriting because there's a correlation to insurance claims and financial responsibility. A lot of people don't agree with this necessarily.
Yeah.
And the state of California itself does not agree with that either. So they don't allow credit scoring at all. And so that's really one main thing that kind of knocks out or handcuffs insurance companies in a way in order to...
Because you can't create a high-risk pool, basically, right? So you got to spread the risk amongst everybody, even people who are naturally much lower risk due to their own behavior because credit score.
Correct. So
maybe
that
that's
pushes,
controversial. I don't know about
Yep, and ultimately, with again claims frequency and the problems that we've had, and now inflation, and the insurance industry is really, really in upheaval. It's the toughest industry I've ever seen since I've been in the business, and the inflation due to post-COVID situations and whatever has really caused a lot of problems. So everybody, if you don't see a lot of rate change in your premium, consider yourself lucky because the greater majority are going to see a very big rate change.
All right. Well, we must be running really long on all the segments because I can't believe it's already 11:15. We have 2 segments left to go. So we are going to jump intermission and come back with Fargo Frequently Asked Questions.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that 50K because we dropped that on the fun. See, this is what you call teasing. We're teasing the listener to get them to listen to the next segment, which is Fargo Frequently Asked Questions. So don't go nowhere.